Why is it that the moment someone truly begins to care about you, really see you, value you, want to be close, you feel this rush of anxiety instead of peace? It doesn't make sense, does it? Love and care should feel safe. They should feel comforting. And yet, for so many people, they feel threatening. Maybe you've been there. Someone texts you back too quickly, or they look at you with that soft warmth in their eyes, and instead of leaning in, your chest tightens. Your mind starts spinning. What if they leave? What if I disappoint them? What if I can't handle this closeness? If that sounds like you, you're not alone. And there's a powerful reason why this happens. A reason tied not to weakness, not to being too much or not enough, but to how your attachment system was built. And to understand it, we need to go back to one man, John Bowlby. Stick with me until the end, because by the time we're done, you'll see your anxiety in a whole new light. And more importantly, you'll learn how to stop letting it sabotage the closeness you deeply crave. Let's start by really naming the experience, because chances are, if you clicked on this video, you know exactly what I'm about to describe. You meet someone who shows you genuine care. At first, it feels exciting. It feels warm, maybe even a little bit unbelievable. They text you back quickly. They ask about your day. They listen when you talk, not just waiting for their turn, but actually hearing you. And for a moment, you let yourself feel good. You let yourself enjoy it. But then, almost like clockwork, something shifts inside you. What once felt comforting starts to feel heavy. Their affection feels too much. The attention that once made you smile now makes you second-guess everything. Instead of leaning in, you start to retreat. Maybe you stop replying right away. You tell yourself you're just busy, but deep down you know you're pulling back. Maybe you find yourself picking little fights, complaining about the way they worded a text, or how they didn't notice some tiny detail about you. You blow up small things, almost like you're looking for reasons to push them away. Or maybe you go quiet. You shut down, not even fully aware you're doing it. Conversations feel harder. Your energy drops. You tell yourself, I just need space. But really, it's fear talking. And the craziest part? None of this is because you don't want closeness. You do. You crave it. You imagine it. You hope for it. Yet when it finally arrives, when someone actually offers it, your body reacts as if it's danger. It doesn't feel like love. It feels like risk. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts race. You wonder if they'll get tired of you, if they'll discover your flaws, if they'll leave just like others have. You might even hear that little voice in your head whispering, "This can't last. Something's going to go wrong." And so, what happens? You retreat. Not because you don't care, but because you care so much it feels unbearable. The very thing you want most, connection, becomes the very thing you push away. But here's the real question. Why? Why would something as beautiful as care trigger anxiety? Why would affection, consistency, and love, things we're told are supposed to heal us, make us panic instead? The answer doesn't lie in your weakness or in some flaw within you. It lies in your history. It lies in the blueprint of human connection. The way your earliest bonds with caregivers shape the way you love, trust, and attach today. And that's where we need to go next. This is where John Bowlby comes in. Bowlby was a British psychiatrist and psychoanalyst who forever changed the way we understand love, fear, and connection. Before him, many psychologists saw children as blank slates, little machines that simply needed food, shelter, and discipline to grow. But Bowlby noticed something different. He saw that children weren't just hungry for food, they were hungry for love. They weren't just reaching for toys, they were reaching for people. From this, he developed what we now call attachment theory. And at its core is a simple but powerful idea. Humans are wired for connection. The way we bond with our caregivers in childhood doesn't just shape our childhood, it sets the foundation for how we connect in adulthood. Think about it. When you were a child, every cry, every laugh, every little need you had was like a question you were asking the world. Would someone come? Would someone soothe me? Would someone be there when I needed them most? If the answer was yes most of the time, if your caregivers were consistent, loving, and attuned, you learned something vital. You developed what Bowlby called a secure attachment. You learned, I can rely on others. Love is safe. Care is dependable. And when you grow up with that foundation, receiving care feels natural. It feels right. But not everyone grows up with that kind of consistency. If care was unpredictable, sometimes warm, sometimes distant, you probably learned something else. You developed what Bowlby described as an anxious attachment. To you, love began to feel uncertain. You never knew if it would stay or go. So you learned, I have to cling tightly to care when it's here, because it might vanish the moment I let go. On the other hand, if care was rejecting or unavailable, if you learned early that your needs were too much or always met with coldness, you may have developed an avoidant attachment. You learned a painful but seemingly necessary survival rule. It's safer not to rely on anyone. Better to depend only on myself because others can't be trusted. Here's the key insight. When someone shows you genuine care today, your brain doesn't experience it in the present. It pulls out that old attachment blueprint. If love once felt uncertain, frightening, or conditional, then care doesn't feel like safety. It feels like a trap. That's why you tense up when someone texts you back too quickly. That's why closeness sometimes feels suffocating, or why you secretly brace yourself for abandonment even when things are going well. It isn't because you're broken. It isn't because you're unworthy. It's because your attachment system is doing exactly what it was designed to do, protect you from pain by anticipating danger. The problem is, that protection often backfires. It keeps you from receiving the very love and stability you crave. So the question becomes, if your attachment system is wired this way, what does it mean for your relationships right now? And more importantly, what can you do about it? Before we go deeper, if this is resonating with you, it means you're not alone. And that's why I make videos like this. If you want to keep exploring the hidden sides of your emotions, the psychology of why we do what we do, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. That way, you won't miss the next time we break down a question you've secretly been wondering about. All right, let's get back to it. Because now that we know why this anxiety shows up, we need to talk about how it plays out in your everyday life. Think back to your last relationship, or maybe even just a close friendship, where someone began to genuinely care for you. Do you remember how unsettling it felt? At first, it might have seemed perfect. Their kindness reassured you. Their affection made you feel noticed, maybe even cherished. But as things deepened, something inside you shifted. Instead of relaxing into the safety of their care, you found yourself questioning it. Did you notice how hard it was to simply receive their affection? Maybe you started testing them without even realizing it. You wondered, will they still love me if I push them away? Will they still care if I show them the parts of myself I'm ashamed of? Will they stay if I stop being easy to love? Or maybe your tests weren't conscious. Maybe you found yourself sabotaging the relationship. You started unnecessary arguments over small things, or you pulled away just when things were going well. Sometimes you even convinced yourself, this is too good to be true. It's only a matter of time before it falls apart. And here's the irony. This isn't because you don't want closeness. In fact, it's the opposite. It's because closeness feels too important, too risky, to the part of you that once equated love with pain. Your nervous system has learned that attachment, the thing you long for the most, is also the thing most likely to hurt you. This is exactly what Bowlby's research revealed. These patterns aren't random quirks of personality. They're survival strategies. They are the ways your nervous system learned to adapt to love that was unpredictable, inconsistent, or unsafe. And the remarkable thing is that we repeat these patterns almost automatically. It's like your body goes on high alert the moment someone steps too close to your heart. Intimacy becomes a battlefield. You start scanning for threats. Will they abandon me? Will they betray me? Will they get tired of me? You brace yourself for the loss before it even happens. You prepare for rejection before the other person has even thought about leaving. And here's the payoff. When you push people away, it's not because you don't care. It's not because you're cold, unlovable, or broken. You push them away because you care so deeply that the thought of losing them feels unbearable. Keeping a little distance feels safer than risking the devastation of being left behind. But here's the hopeful part. Bowlby's work also points to the possibility of change. Attachment patterns are powerful, but they're not permanent. The same system that once learned to brace against love can learn slowly to trust it again. The question is, how? How do you begin to rewrite the story your nervous system has been telling for years? Bowlby believed that attachment wasn't a life sentence. Even if your early blueprint was anxious or avoidant, you can develop what psychologists call earned secure attachment. How? By building relationships, both with others and with yourself, that retrain your nervous system to see care as safety, not danger. Here are a few takeaways from Bowlby's approach. Notice the trigger, not just the reaction. When someone cares for you and you feel anxious, pause. Instead of assuming something is wrong with me, try, this is my attachment system firing up. My body is expecting the past to repeat. Slow down closeness. Bowlby emphasized that attachment is built gradually. You don't have to dive headfirst into intimacy. It's okay to take small steps, to let care in piece by piece. Seek consistency. A big part of healing is surrounding yourself with people who show up reliably. Each consistent act of care, each text returned, each boundary respected, teaches your nervous system a new lesson. Maybe love can be safe after all. Practice self-soothing. When anxiety spikes, remind yourself, this is fear talking, not truth. Bowlby believed attachment isn't just external, it's also about how you comfort yourself when you feel afraid. Over time, these shifts begin to rewire your attachment map. Care no longer feels like a threat. It starts to feel like home. And this brings us to Bowlby's most important truth. Bowlby once said that all of us, from cradle to grave, are happiest when life is organized around secure bonds. Being cared for feels weak, not because you're broken, but because your defenses were trained to expect loss. Yet those defenses don't have to define you forever. Closeness can feel safe. Love can feel steady, and care can stop being a trigger and start being the very thing that heals you. If this message spoke to you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because we're going to keep exploring questions just like this, diving deeper into the psychology of human connection. And remember this, your anxiety isn't proof that you can't be loved. It's proof that you need love. And with time, the right kind of love, both from others and yourself, can help that anxiety finally let go.